schedule this evening. I'm Mary Harding. I'm director of the Nebraska League of Conservation Voters, and on behalf of the League and the board, I want to welcome everyone here tonight. Thank you all for coming. This is presentation number 3 of 4 that we have sponsored this year through our educational fund. Take a minute to recognize Dwayne Havorka, who's one of our board members here in the back. Thanks for coming tonight, Dwayne. And we're also co-sponsoring this event with the School of Natural Resources and the Rural Initiative, and I'd like to recognize Sandy Schofield with the Rural Initiative here tonight. Thanks for coming. The format for these presentations has been that we have a discussion in the evening, and then the next morning we go with the speaker to the Capitol and have a briefing in the morning before session for state legislators. And knowing that this is the formula, I want to especially acknowledge Senator Ken Haar for being here tonight, because he's going to get a double dose. So thank you very much, Ken. You've been a real leader on this subject, and we really appreciate everything you're doing to help move Nebraska ahead. The program this evening is on state energy policies, and we feel very fortunate this evening to have Glen Andersen with us. Mr. Andersen is with the National Council on State Legislatures. Conference. Just speak right up. Based out of Denver. He got his graduate degree from the University of Michigan in environmental health, and then for the last 10 years has been working with the conference on the environment and environmental health issues, and really over the years has developed a specialty in energy policy at the state level, and especially renewable energy, and climate change. So we're very, very fortunate to have him here, especially as the legislature looks at moving forward over the interim with a somewhat comprehensive look at how we deliver energy in this state and how we incent public power to provide more renewable energy. It's an extremely timely topic. I'm glad you all have made time to be here tonight, and in one more moment, I'm going to welcome Glen up to the stage. I do want to put in a plug for the 4th lecture in this series, which will be May 18th. It's Bob Zavadil from Internex, and he'll be talking about integrating renewables into the grid. There's quite a bit of discussion about how renewable sources can affect reliability of the system, and so we think this will be likewise very, very interesting. And then a shameless plug for the League of Conservation Voters. If you have appreciated what we've done with this lecture series, we'd like to remind you that we are a nonprofit organization funded on the generosity of those who share our beliefs. And we have a fabulous opportunity coming up May 8th for you to come share an evening with people of like mind, listen to some music, have a dinner, and help us keep the doors open and keep doing the kinds of thing we're doing. At the table on your way out, there are flyers about what we call Joe's Club Barbecue. It's named after a biologist who really was the founding force behind the league in Nebraska. So take a moment to pick that up and see if your schedule will allow you to come be with us. It really is an awful lot of fun. And that's the end of my shameless, well, no, it's not. I need to also recognize Eva Soul, who is the staff person who has put this series together. She's done a fabulous job, and I just want to acknowledge the That'll wrap up my shameless plugs. It's really my privilege tonight to welcome Glen Andersen, and without any further comment, Glen, thanks so much for coming and being with us.
Thank you. Okay, I guess I'm wired up here. I've never worn one of these, and kind of makes me feel like a pop star. But I don't know if I'll be quite as entertaining as Britney Spears, but I'll try. I'm also wired here for the recording over there, filming, and I have my remote for controlling the PowerPoint, so if I spontaneously combust, I don't know why. So I think she introduced me a little bit, but with regards to my organization, the National Conference of State Legislatures is the largest organization, bipartisan organization, serving the needs of state legislatures across the 50 states as well as the territories. In fact, we're not exclusive just to U.S. territories and the U.S. Quebec is also a member. And essentially what our mission is really to provide state policymakers with unbiased information on policy and all policy topics. However, I do focus on energy. We, as the state legislature, NCSL, focus on just about any policy topic that comes along. And essentially, we also represent the needs or the interests of state legislatures to Congress. They do vote within our, we do have committees, they do vote within our committees, and then we do lobby those issues, usually regarding states' rights and how federal policy may impact already existing policies within the states, such as renewable portfolio standards. So, with regards to the current environment in energy development and renewable energy in particular, there's definitely going to be tremendous demand growth over the next 20 or 30 years, and the question really is, how is the U.S. and how are states going to meet this demand growth? And clean energy has been looked at a way to meet some of that growth, and they look at it as an integral component of short and long-term energy planning. However, it's also an issue of economics as well. It must meet both the environmental and economic needs and increase reliability of the grid, stability and cost effectiveness of the energy supply, and it does have qualities that can ensure that it meets those needs. It also, as I said, energy demand is increasing, new infrastructure is going to be built, and new generation will be built, regardless of whether renewable energy is adopted as that resource. And costs are expected to go up, regardless of what type of energy is chosen. So with regards to renewable energy meeting those goals, first off, it does meet energy security needs. It, with regards to not being reliant on foreign sources of fuel, when renewable energy complexes are built or renewable energy projects, they have a fairly high upfront cost. However, their production costs throughout the rest of the life of that project are fairly consistent, whereas other types of energy have fairly volatile, or can have extremely volatile costs when it comes to fuel costs, particularly natural gas when it comes to electricity generation. Energy reliability is another issue. Renewable energy can provide what's called distributed resource, where many small plants or many small developments of renewable energy, small wind turbines and solar energy, can be distributed in around the grid at very close to the place of demand for electricity. Thus, that takes away the ability, say, if a large generation plant goes down, which takes out a whole region, or if a large transmission line goes down, which takes out a whole region, these small distributed generation resources are not affected, and thus that can increase reliability to some extent. Also, if there's a natural disaster which cuts off a certain region, in fact, down in New Orleans after Katrina, there was a company